Welcome to Troggy Trog's Let's Play Dungeons and Dragons Online. Our next quest is Venn's Trail, Venn's Fate. Level 4 quest on normal. Come along, Kendra. And she's with us, might as well keep her in the quest. I'm gonna lock her down though, so she doesn't do anything silly. I really would like to utilize that Divine Vitality. I mean, it'd come in handy, but we don't really need to use it right now, I guess. And there's a lot of this quest here is a lot of valve pulling. There's a lot of these little like cages in there. So basically, what you do is you like look around. We need to find Venn, and he's in one of these, but there's no reason to pull these valves necessarily if you don't see him in one of these. So you kind of just walk up and look, and then move on to the next one. I have run this before where Venn was really early on, and this, you know, like pretty close to the beginning. We'll go ahead and use this buff cookie we have here, and I'm going to use my Expeditious Retreat, and maybe we'll get a shield going for us. Not bad for a 50% chance. There's a lot of casters with magic missile in this. Alright, well, let's start with this side first. It's going to be a lot of kobolds. This is a kobold heavy environment. Okay, do we see anybody down there? There's warnings on. There's one guy down there. I'll do some more spamming, sure. Okay. Alright, let's head this way. Again, if you get up, basically the best thing to do is just get up to the gates and look in. Like, you can see skeletons in there and such. And here's a body here. That's him right there. Now, we could end the quest right now, but we found him. And we lucked out, and he's really close by, which is kind of rare, you know, because he can be randomly in just about any one of these cells. But we know where he is. We can come back here and click on him later, and we'll get him. So now what we're going to do is get all the optional stuff, you know, go for the XP bonuses and such. So we're just going to look for things we can break, breakables. We're going to look for rares and extra guys to kill and try to get the conquest.
You hear the muffled snarls of angry wolves nearby.
Yeah, angry wolves, you'll say, huh? Alright, I'm detecting trap panel in there. Let's back it off a little bit. There we go. I knew there was going to be a wolf. He said something about wolves. I believe the Dungeon Master that time. Normally the Dungeon Master is tricky. He's wily. He lies sometimes, or uses a play on the words, but not this time. Oh, there's another one. Alright, looks like we've got this disabled. There's a lot of blood here, and there's a really big nasty blade. So that would have been nasty. You get hit by that. Alright, again, look through all these, make sure there's... Usually these are empty, but Venn could be here when you do this quest. He could be here. And we know where he is, so don't worry about it. Uh-oh, an ogre. Take that, ogre. Ha ha ha. Okay, we got an adventurer's pack. That was a delay. It's kind of like the arrow goes in there and then it thinks, it's like it hits it and then like it thinks for a moment as it's like hit the wood on the barrel, and it's like, I think I'll make this barrel explode. Oh. Alright, so I have a lot more to explore here. I love this, man. Just ranging these guys down. You kind of just hold your ground, you know. I hear a shrine. Yep. They don't need it though. At least not right now. Again, we're looking for anything that we can break, so there's no reason to pull the valves.
You hear the cold scraping of bones against brick.
Bones against brick, huh? I don't know what that could be. I'll go through a Q span. So, come back to that room in a second. We have yeah, there's a collectible in here. Buy ourselves some time by running back here. Another thing we need to be looking for is these optional prisoners. Yeah, probably these hiding spot right here. Yeah, that guy did not see that one coming. Yeah. Ammo block. Nice. It's heavy though. I want to say, and I may be incorrect in saying this, but I want to say that sometimes these ogres are orange named, like rares that are in here. Both ogres that we've encountered in this particular dungeon. But I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it. I'm just, like I said, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Ooh, it's one of the prisoners we need. You're free. Alright, so we need 4 more. So, yeah, we've done a good chunk of this dungeon now, and we still haven't seen many of the prisoners, so that's interesting. So they're probably all clumped together in one area, like one wing. This is a really cool dungeon, though. I do like, you know, how it's kind of like a big prison. These kobolds. Oh, now see, I have morphic arrows, so I can bypass the DR. Uh-oh. The game is really lagging up there. That was scary kind of lag there. I don't know what that was about. And that was like, the server just like died for a moment. I really think they should do some server maintenance on all the servers. Seems like, but this one especially, seems like it's really not doing so hot. They probably have they probably have a budget that's very limited now that this game's been out for 8 years. They probably don't have the money to buy new servers and equipment, but they probably need to. That's probably why there's lag, because machines are just getting old and probably worn out, or nobody's maintaining them. I like this. You can jump up here, and if you can jump high enough, you can grab that ledge there. I don't think I can jump high enough. Jump boost though. Ooh, a collectible. Alright. I think we'll open up this chest and see what's in here before we talk to that guy. Hey, I got some thieves tools. It's a rare thing. I used to get You know, it's funny, if you don't play a thief or a rogue character or artificer or whatever, if you don't play that, you'll get those all the time. But if you play a rogue character, they hardly ever drop. I think it's how they designed it, so that it kind of forces you to the party dynamic to work with someone else. He's a terrified prisoner, huh? He's saying, "Run, get out of here." What is it? What's wrong? Scorpions, a kobold, throw us in here and feed. Oh my gosh. So, okay. Yes, we, too late, here they come. Go, save yourselves. So the idea is to kind of keep that guy from dying, I think. I want to follow him and make sure he survives. If he keeps running. I think he just disappears after a while. I never really have chased up after him to find out where he goes. These scorpions can be a nasty thing to fight. There's some bigger scorpions, I think they're called monarch ones. In a few levels we'll be seeing those. If not, maybe even this level we'll see them. They hit really hard, so you know, just something to be aware of if you're. Now that guy escaped, but I don't think we get credit for that guy. So well, I thought we'd get credit for him. So we had that first guy, that was 5. Now we have 4 left. We went down here. That would have been 3 left if we had if he'd counted. Anytime we can see these guys, we'll go ahead and shoot them, just because conquest and all that. So we can get the jump on them far easier than they can get the jump on us. And we are at onslaught right now. I'm gonna go ahead and open this door just to. Sometimes you open a door and it makes things spawn. So I just want to check. Make sure we didn't get any. I think there was collectible in one of these. I guess it was just that breakable, so. Oh, I heard it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, it's an ambush. The music's playing. That made him turn around. The animation for that takes so long. You know, I love, you know, this Waterworks chain. It's a good one. There's another guy here. I had a really rough month in December, and this is like the very end of December now. And I'm like, finally, I can like kick back. I've got a few weeks off, so my winter vacation time. So I'm just like, yay! Finally, I'm finally getting over my cold that, you know, lingered forever. This nasty flu, respiratory infection thing that I had, and finally getting over that, and I finally got some time to like relax and take it easy and enjoy some gaming. Hey. Alright, that was really bad lag or whatever that was. We have another shrine. Find 2 more prisoners. There's one. Usually what happens in this quest when you're in a group or a pug group is you just kind of fan out. Everyone kind of just goes their own way, and you try to cover more ground so you can get the quest done quicker. But in doing that with a pug group, you're probably not going to get your optionals, because usually there are a couple people that
a shamanic-looking kobold shrieks nonsense at you from beside a crude altar to his hateful gods.
Oh, he's got hateful gods. But yeah, he's like, you know, you get there's usually 1 or 2 guys in a pug group that will just not know to go for the optionals, so they don't know to look in there, and then, you know, almost always if you do a pug group, it's almost like, well, at least back in the day, maybe not so much now, because a lot of pugs are generally experienced players. But back in the day, you'd always have that one guy that would just talk to Venn as soon as he found them, and the quest would be over. And you're like, no, you know, let's get all the bonuses first. So they all add up, rather than just going for Venn. You know. So you know, we have that one optional prisoner. That's not that important. You know, you can do that after the quest is done. But getting these bonuses, you know, and we have a Vandal bonus now. We still haven't. I don't know if there's any more traps, but we had the conquest. So really, right now, we're just trying to go for the breakables and traps. You know, if there are any traps. But yeah, those pug groups, you know, it'd always be fun because they ended up dying too. And every time you have a death, you know, that's just gonna ruin that flawless victory that you can get for. So if a hireling dies, you get a small penalty, or you basically lose some of the bonus, but for the flawless victory. But if a player dies, it's a bigger deal. It causes a bigger penalty, or lack of the bonus, I should say. Okay. I know it's only 194, but 194 is, and I know I don't have to break that breakable, as we have the ransack, but I'm poor. And I've been getting some nice items once in a while out of this breakable, so.
Cruel implements of torture are scattered around this room.
I'll slow one of them down at least, huh? And there is such lag with the. It seems like it's like when you do spells, when you cast, or if you do interactions like skill checks, like say when we were doing that bluff there, it just lags. It's so bad. I don't know what's going on. I've never really seen it this laggy on a sustained basis. The game actually wasn't that bad about less than a year ago when I was playing it. It seemed like it was pretty darn smooth. I'm thinking it's just the server though. If somebody watches these videos and plays on a server, type in just put in the comment section what server you play on and what kind of lag you experience. If you're experiencing this kind of lag, I'd like to know what server you're on. Maybe we can get a consensus of what is going on here. It may be just the game itself, or it may be something more than that. I love doing that. Just checking to see if anything's spawning other than. All right, here's one of the ogres. Or maybe it's just the ogre. It's a nice optional there. I just like checking to make sure there's no more of these guys. But why not? Let's play it one more time. Ahaha. Boy, I had to hit that 3 times before it let me read it. It's like click, 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 click. Just laggy. Hey, a returning throwing axe. Now that's a permanent item, and it actually returns to you. So it's something we'll probably keep. It's a really nice item. There are various metals these are made out of, so you can get adamantine ones and silver ones and stuff. And they're not just axes. You can find like daggers and other items that do the that are returning. But it's just a nice thing to have. So, all right. Alright, so let's check our XP report out. I don't think there's any more trap bonuses here. We've got pretty much everything else, so basically we're just going to get these remaining goodies that we need. Oh man, nailed that guy. 20, right, point blank in the face. Like, bam! That, you kobold punk. And we've got a collectible here. And then we're done. So basically we just have to get Venn. So I'll go ahead and tell her, hey, why don't you follow me? Now, I think her No, she might not be on. Okay, she got 7 minutes left, so if we get this done pretty quickly, we can still use her for the next quest. Get our money's worth out of her. Alright, Venn Arkaran's corpse. This must be Venn Arkaran. He's been dead for several days. Looking closer, you notice a strange series of regular reddish-brown marks beneath his corpse. Move Venn's body and investigate the marks more closely. Venn's corpse shifts, revealing a wormy stab wound in his gut. As he died, he tried to smear out a last message in his own blood. The only words you can make out are Seal of Chanticleer. Awesome. So that leads us into our next chain, the Seal of Chanticleer. So, yeah, we can basically just go around the corner here and click the door, I think, to exit out. But anyway, we'll go get our reward, and this is a chain, so we'll get a kind of a unique reward list. So we'll run over there. Alright, so here's Guard Timber. I know we took the long way around, but we got to him. Venn is dead. I don't believe it. He was always tempting fate, heading into the sewers after... Like, who would want to head in the sewers? Like, heading into the sewers, like, these should be dungeons and not sewers, but anyway. After rumors and baubles, but no. It's too much to take. I'll remain here and grieve for a while. Please return to Harbormaster's Inn out on the harbor. And let him know what happened. Okay. Now we get to see our reward. So we're gonna get this reward, then we're gonna recall and talk to Harbormaster's Inn because there's another list you get to. And we've got a lot of things to choose from here. So let's start from the bottom. We don't use rune arms, so that's no big deal. We got heroic deeds. We don't need that because it's not a rechargeable one. It's gonna run out eventually. And, the Goggles of Grabbing is interesting. It's a whole person, which is a pretty decent spell at this level, but it does recharge, you know, but it's only 1 charge per day. The necklace really isn't that great in comparison to our Marguerite's necklace, especially since we've crafted on the Marguerite's necklace. +5 on a skill, we can find that probably in a random gen item. Now here we go. Jump and tumble and striding 7. The jump would come in handy, the striding not so much because we have expeditious retreat. Sewer Smock has acid resistance 10 and a blue slot. We don't use docents because only silly warforged use docents. Light armor, -1 armor check penalty. There's a Brigandine of Death Block. Again, that's bound to account on acquire. We already have a death block. It's, you know, we have a light armor, so we're good. So far, not seen anything I want in here, and I haven't seen the wand, the eternal wands, in 2 chains now that reward those. So I'm starting to get bummed. I don't know. We'll keep looking up. This is a long list. Maybe we'll luck out. I kind of skimmed down it already, and I wasn't really. I wanted to surprise myself, so I wasn't really reading through it. That's really not going to do us any good. That's an interesting one because you can reslot the yellow and the colorless, so you could technically put like a stat in the colorless and then like say like feathered fall or something in yellow. If you could get the augments to put in there, though, that's the thing. Again, that's a interesting one, but nothing really uber awesome. Now this charismatic helm, I can use that. It's charisma 2. The UMD will go 2 points higher. Ah, there we go. Disable device. Now, the problem is it's gloves, and I have Constitution on my gloves. But that is really, that's probably the best. These 2 are probably the best 2 things I've seen so far. Springing, that's just jump. Pacemaker. Yeah, not that great. It's just a regular. Oh, it's a great club too, so it's me. Lesser Human Bane. Okay, we do fight a lot of human type characters in this game. Red Augment slot's good. It's a 1d8 damage, +2 bow. It's really not much better than what I have right now, because mine has acid, so it's always doing a d6 damage to everything. So, but the red slot is nice. But at this level, our red slots are like 1 to 2 points of extra damage. Like you could put a red slot of acid, like minor acid or something like that. Stench. Sickle with stench. That would be interesting. Become paralyzed with stench. It's kind of like a troglodyte stench, I guess. That would be kind of fun. But we're using a bow, so that's not very good. That's not going to do as much good. That's not going to do as much good. Now, this is interesting. Oh, and it's the right look, too. It's my favorite style, that circle with the little, like, kind of runic cross in the middle. It's mithril, and it's bound to account, so you could disjunction it, basically turn it into a boss beater if you did a lot of shield bashing, because mithril is basically like silver for DR purposes. So you could put like holy or righteousness or whatever on it, and it could be a boss beater for like evil outsiders and stuff as a shield. And it looks cool, and you can craft on it. The one thing I would wish that this thing had on it was a slot, like a blue slot or something. That'd make it like a perfect crafting shield. That's a really nice shield, and I can't really use it on this guy. He's not really designed to use large shield and heavy shield and all, but it's still pretty cool. So we don't have a disabled device item that gives us +5, and I'm thinking that's pretty much our best bet. The acrobat ring, it's neat, but you know, and it does have 3 different things on it, but we don't really use tumble. Where our jump isn't that bad, and we can use cookies and potions for that, and we can stride faster. So the belt is one of our weaker slot items right now, but I think we'll take this. Oh, my inventory is full. How about that? So what did we take out of all this junk that we can just toss? It's not worth a lot. That's one of them right there. Let's see, that's one. I think that's what we'll do, is we'll just drop like one of those scrolls, I think. Potion's worth more than the scrolls, actually, so we'll just drop a scroll. This is less important. We'll just get rid of that. We don't really need that. Alright. We'll lock that guy down. And we'll have to figure out a spot for it in there somewhere. For now, I'll just put it here just so I know I have it. Anyway, we'll reset the chain, and we'll head out, and we'll check the other reward. Yeah, I know I rambled on and on there looking at all that stuff, but that's kind of the fun, you know. You're going for the reward at the end of these long chains, or you know, chains that'll take you like an hour to run or whatever. You rush through them, so it's kind of nice to be able to. And it's funny when you pop out of there, the whole camera angle slants this little, skews this a little bit. So Harbor Master Zin's here. Arliss told me of how you heroically rescued him, and I'm saddened to learn of Venn's death. The Coin Lords will hear of this and make the kobolds pay. I must save my resources to deal with the kobolds, so I can only reward you this one time. Even if you go into the Waterworks again, I cannot afford to give you anything else. So choose your reward wisely. This guy sometimes has really nice items in this list, but they're not like the bound to account ones you see in the other list. So this one's, we'll see. Let's keep the fingers crossed and kind of hope, I guess. Right? I've seen people get Ioun stones from this list, or at least I know people that have. Oh, I got a tome in there. Alright. Oh, clever goggles. Again, I don't want to use my goggles slot for clever right now until we can get some better trap gear. Man. See, now he has some nice stuff in here. Now this and this are nice, but we'll pass on those. We'll most likely take that tome. And what's really cool is, if I didn't need Intimidate +1, I could probably make some money off of this. So I'm going to have to think about this carefully, because I can put this tome on the auction house, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll go up to the auction house after this, and I'll show you what tomes go for. They're pretty rare. And I don't need Intimidate on this guy. It's one of his skills he doesn't really use, so I don't really need that as a skill. And +1 is really, it is a, you need to kind of get a +1 tome to start, because they'll often have upgrade tomes where it's like a +1, a +2 upgrade, and you get stuck with that and you wish you could find a +1 tome because you don't really need the +1 to +2 upgrade because you can't use it. Oh wow, an acid burst longbow. I could really use that too. See, that one does when it hits on a critical, it does 1 to 10 acid damage for weapons with a ×2 multiplier. This is a ×3 multiplier, so it'll do 2 to 20 acid damage. I don't know if it does the acid burst. I don't know if they changed that or not, but I think it does 1 to 6 on regular hits, like the other bow we have here to the right, our bow. And then when it crits, it does the other damage as well. I'm not sure how they do that, if they changed how that works. I'm pretty sure that's how it used to work. It was 1 to 6 acid damage, and then if you crit it, it would do an additional acid damage. Alright, well, we've got to take the tome. It's the most viable thing in that list. It really is. And again, our inventory slots are full. I don't really care about the scroll so much. It's very cheap. You know, not a big deal. We're going to lock this down so we don't accidentally do anything dumb with it. And real quick, you know, we'll talk to this guy here just to... Alright, so real quick, we're going to go up to... I'll use this. We're going to have to go to the tavern anyway to regenerate that. I'm going to go up and look at the auction house, and we may just try posting this for a reasonable price on the auction house. And since it's a +1 skill tome, and it's a skill that we don't need on this character, I'm thinking this is a golden opportunity to make some auction house flat. You know, we have a few items on there already, but you know, there's ways to make money in this game, and this is a legitimate way to do it. So let's look at the auction house under tomes. So we scroll down, we hit the tomes, we search, and we'll do it by buyout. Now you can see right now the lowest price tome on the auction house is 180,000 plat. Just straight up 180,000 plat. And if you look at skill tomes, like if we look under the word skill, we can narrow this down just to the skill tomes. And again, they're 300,000 and up. Most of these are +3s. You know, there's really no straight up +1s on here. So we've got a kind of a corner. We can kind of corner a market here. There's only one. Open a lock. They want 315,000 for it. Again, these +1s are where you have to start with, because you can see upgrade, 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 upgrade. Everything's an upgrade tome. So if you don't have the starting tome, you're kind of stuck. You see, you can't use a +3 upgrade tome unless you have the +1 to you know, you need a +2 tome somewhere in there, and the only way to use a +2 tome is usually get a +1 that upgrades to a +2. So I think, guys, we could go in here. Let's go to, I want to say it's miscellaneous, and we're going to look up hole, because there's things called collapsed portable holes. And we're going to look at the going rate for these. They're really expensive on the server. It's outrageous. This is usually about the going cost for a portable hole. This is starting to get really, really high. This is just, this guy's smoking crack. Anyway, alright, so we've got a niche item that no one else has. And I say, while we got some plat, because they're going to charge us a posting fee, while we have some plat on us, let's go ahead and post this. I don't need it. It's not a stat tome. It's not a skill that I really need to utilize as a roguey type character that is a ranger. If I was a tank, it would be a beautiful skill, but it's not. I'm not a tank. So it's only going to cost 53 plat to post this, at least at this rate. I say let's post it for enough so that we can cover. Now, I don't know. We might not get anything for it. We may have to repost it. It may be on there for 3 days. But let's start it off at 200,000. It'll be, number one, the cheapest tome on the AH, other than that one that was for 180,000. And number two, it's the only +1 skill tome on the AH. I could probably ask a lot more for this, but this is my chance to actually get some plat in the game, and these are very rare exceptions, very rare chances you'll get this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So it's 3 days, 72 hours, right? 200,000. Let's go ahead and post it. Ta-da! All right, guys. Well, that's it for me for this time. We got a really nice reward out of the Waterworks chain, so that's awesome. Now, what we're gonna do is move on. Hopefully, we'll say, with that, we'll get enough. Once we hit level 10, we'll be able to buy our ship, and then start putting buffs and things like that on our ship. Because if we win that auction house, we'll have enough to buy not only a class portal hull, but 50,000 left over. If the going rate's 150,000 for a cheap class portal hull, we'll have just enough, or getting close to just enough after the auction takes its cut, to start getting some nice items in the game and start moving up in the world. So we're building a little empire here, it's slowly but surely. But thanks for watching. That was the Waterworks chain. Now we're going to head on to the Seal Chanticore, so the Chanticore chain, and I need to go through a lot of inventory, make some inventory management. So until next time, thanks for watching. Alright, so I was just doing some banking here, and I got some mail. So one of my auction items sold. Now for this the drum roll, let's see what we get. We have 3 items on the auction house. All of them are going to be a good profit. One of them is going to be outstanding if we sold that tome. And we did! We sold the tome! Ah! Woo! Oh yeah! 140,000 plat! Oh, we got that on film. Oh yes, I love it. Yes. I was just banking. I was like at the bank. I was moving some stuff around, making, trying to decide if I wanted some cookies. I did grab my Hezro cookie. Look at that! Look at that money! Okay, here's something else that's really cool. I got a composite short bow of draining. That level drains when I crit, on a vorpal hit, basically. When I roll a 20, level drains the enemy. They take a negative level. It's not a major awesome item, but it's a pretty good awesome item, And I got it from this vendor. Again, checking out the instances, doing a little... So yeah, I finished up Waterworks. I ran around for about half an hour doing some errands and chores, and look where I'm at. So anyway, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna go AFK, come back, and then we'll start this chain up here. So I wanted to record that, so I think I'll throw this either on the end of the Waterworks chain, or I'm gonna throw this in the beginning of the Seal Chanticore. But it's pretty exciting news, guys.